All right, pre-show shenanigans for this episode. It's going to be a bit of a throwback for all you Black Eyed Peas generation children like us.
Mhm.
I don't know about you. I don't know if you remember this, but when we were in like kindergarten, preschool, even pre-K, I guess that is preschool, but um, we would always make there was the fake candy sushi that we would make. You put the Rice Krispie treat down, you put the Swedish fish on top of it, and you wrap it. You
Yeah.
wrap it in the fruit roll up.
Uh-huh.
All I want to say is one, I don't know why that stopped, and that is the difference between our generation and all the generations behind us and like before us, because that was in our window. That just didn't exist outside of that.
hmm Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would say there's some generational gaps. I done it's come up a lot in a lot of my classes recently. Into high school, like into college, bringing up differences in like thinking and like kind of just like cultural differences between the different generations, like Gen Z, millennials, whatnot. So Everett, you want to explain where we're about to go with this, or should I do the honors?
You got it.
Okay, so I have a theory. Not much of a theory. It's actually pretty proven by now, but there's about a 6-year gap in between Gen Z and millennials, where that 6-year gap of people don't belong in either generation, neither a millennial or a member of Gen Z. So first, let's explain why they aren't millennials. So we'll start there. Uh, I feel like most millennials I encounter just kind of have a tendency to be a little not quite rebellious, but uh, I don't know, a little rigid. They kind of like things to go their way. I feel like most millennials I interact with are they got shit to do. They got something on the schedule. Okay, don't get in their way. Okay, they're trying to get something done. It seems like they're kind of a work oriented group, or at least in the workplace when I've interacted with them. But Gen Z, we aren't Gen Z, Everett, because uh now we are Gen Z in the sense that we have shorter attention spans.
Oh yeah,
We're on our
my
phones,
ADHD is terrible.
like in terms of that, yes. However, when you really think of what a Gen Z kid is, you think of a 12-year-old right now sitting on a couch, laying down with an iPad about 2 inches from their face, and their entire hands cemented, plastered in Cheeto dust. And the entire screen, you actually can't even really see the
You got
screen.
crumbs on
There's
their
so much
face
like
and stuff, like
there's so much
orange
just
everywhere.
weird like dust and just like I don't know. I don't even know what it is. What is that shit on their iPad screens? That shit on it? What is that? You know
Build
what I'm
like the
talking
goop
about.
stuff,
Yeah, like what is that dry shit on there that makes the screen blurry? Like what is like
finger
every
grease.
iPad
It's the
kid's
finger
iPad,
grease.
they get the iPad in 4K. Over time it becomes 480p by the finger grease residue, and they never clean those screens. So that's what an iPad kid really is. And we don't fit in that generation, and we don't fit in the millennial generation. So, with that being said, that makes us honorary members of the Black Eyed Peas. So this leads me into the second aspect of the pre-show shenanigans. I think we brought this up before a little bit, but something that I always think about is what music is going to last when we're older, when we're 50, 60 years old. Like how my mom's favorite band is Journey, Don't Stop Believing. Like that's her favorite band. My dad's favorite band is the Eagles, Hotel California. Like different bands, I
Same
guess
kind of,
same genre of
yeah,
music, but like their banger musics, like their banger songs are like kind of the exact opposite, like tone. Hotel
yeah.
California is slow and Don't Stop Believing is like very upbeat. But anyway, like they both still playing that shit on the daily. It doesn't get old for them. Now, I'm not saying what I'm listening to now right now in 2023 I'm going to be listening to when we're 50, 60 years old. But I do think we're going, like, if I'm thinking of an era of music I'll be playing the most, I'm thinking like 2010 to 2015. I'll be playing songs from that era the most.
I think
when I'm
it's
50, 60.
2008 to 2015. I would take it back 2 years.
2008 as well. Now that applies with the Black Eyed Peas thing, but I did check, and the 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 banger Black Eyed Peas album where it's like the green cover.
Yeah, that was like
Or no,
2006,
that was
right?
09.
Oh, it was
09, not
09.
that one. So for your point, yes, we want to move it back 2 years to include that album, but their 2011 album was just banger after banger after banger. That was the one where it's like the four, it's all the pixelated art.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
the four. It's
bit
Boom
by
Boom
bit
Pow
thing.
right there.
I'm not, I think Boom Boom Pow's on the 09 one.
No, I think Boom Boom Pow is that one.
We're gonna have
That
to
might
double
that might
check
need a
this.
fact check.
Someone's gonna get their honorary Black Eyed Peas membership revoked. Ooh, that's the 09 album. Sorry, Everett, you're not an honorary member. You don't.
All right, I guess
know
I got
your
to get my
20
Cheeto
playlist.
dust and my iPad out.
Yeah, go get your Cheeto dust, you freaking 8-year-old. Yeah, go watch Coco Melon. That's the shit they're all playing.
Cocomelon.
I think, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
No, Paw Patrol. That's it. Paw Patrol. Right?
Hold on. Now I gotta
No.
find
We
which
don't want to
one.
go down that wormhole. Stay on the topic of the music that'll outlast the generations. In my opinion, when I think of like cultural songs, these are two songs that I think will not necessarily will be playing it, but I think our kids will be like, this is a banger. And these are the two songs. I think it's going to be I'm blanking on the name of the first one, but the other song I was going to mention is Beautiful Girls by Sean Kingston.
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah.
our kids are going to be like,
Eeny meeny.
this is a bit, maybe. Like, now this is the thing, like, we have a great perspective on Eeny Meeny. When our kids look back at the all-time greatest hits, more so of Bieber, I'm not sure if Eeny Meeny's popping up.
Eeny Meeny's not there.
You know, so
it's not there. Let's be honest.
Like, I'm also looking at it from this angle. I'm not sure if Sean Kingston, the artist, our kids are gonna remember. I think they're gonna remember "Beautiful Girls," the song. Like,
probably.
Let's think of. I don't know. There's definitely some like classic songs that.
Also, let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. The experience we had as kids, obviously, the experience our kids have is gonna be completely different. But I guarantee you, it's almost gonna be.
I'm so, dude. Those kids are gonna be bumping Adam Levine, Maroon 5.
Oh, that's where I was about to get.
Ever.
Wow. The technological stage of things might be different. Oh, I guarantee you they're going to be watching the Disney Channel movies. I guarantee you they're going to be playing on the Nintendo DS, the original one. They'll be playing with they'll be on Club Penguin if it ever comes back.
Wait, okay, this is maybe an embrace debate. When we're like 50 and 60, are we going to be going up to our kids, watch fucking Toy Story? It's fucking good. Watch it. If I have it's like a 4-year-old, I'll watch it with them. Oh my god, Dad, it's only in 1080p. What the hell? You're making us watch on this toaster.
Well, like when I was growing up, we had movies on VHS. That's how old I am. I watched shit on VHS.
We watched Toy Story in 480p. So,
literally on VHS. And that if you want to talk about the most defining factor of how we grew up comparison to Gen Z, I guarantee you, one, Gen Z holds their phone like this because they think that everything's smartphone. It's like this. Two, the banana phone. Two, I guarantee you they don't even know what VHS is.
Damn, I just had a realization. Like, when we were kids growing up, like, a movie theater was still in very high quality.
Yeah.
They were able to do that. But now that you can get a 4K 70-inch TV, not that expensive, in your own house, like, just the need to go to a movie theater to like truly enjoy a movie just isn't quite there. You know, I just had that realization. Big TV killed movies. Sony killed movies. And then they brought it back with the Spider-Man video game and reviving Marvel as a movie franchise. So Sony's done it all.
Yeah, and they're currently killing other franchises at the same
I
time.
mean,
It's
obviously
great.
I was joking there, but
It's great.
yeah, I mean, just had a little realization. But okay, all right, time to move on to the episode now. I mean,
No.
unless you want to bring up Katy Perry, and I went through her debut album. Oh my god, California
And
Girls.
then
Oh
we get into Taylor
stop.
Swift though, and it's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, well, God, T Swift.
Oh, and then we get into Ariana Grande,
Well,
and
I mean,
then
Taylor Swift will still be making bangers in like
yeah,
30 years. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a really, really important episode of the Waterboy podcast. A lot of news has happened today. It is episode 136. The running back contract drama is heating up. Saquon made a little interview appearance, had some words to say. McCaffrey's also said some things. My boy Eckler, maybe not my boy anymore after what he's been saying. He's been saying a lot of things. So yeah, the running backs have been a little outspoken. Thank you, Le'Veon Bell and Zeke.
oh
I
hey,
got
don't
a
forget the
little.
legend David Johnson too.
Oh, we'll be bringing him up too. Actually, I think he has the second highest guaranteed money for a running back contract. And Reese, oh, never mind. Todd Gurley gets the cake for that one. Another person who we can all thank for this running back contract market. Got a little college football recruiting update and a reminder to those just starting to follow recruiting now that your guys, either have some NIL movement or you just gone back to a blue blood status when it comes to recruiting, Michigan fans. So got a little update for you guys, a reminder how recruiting works. Oh, and Everett, Draymond Green got.
Yeah, he
He
got ball
got.
sacked.
Uh, essentially, yes. So this one's quick. We'll start off with Draymond Green. Actually, the new $100 million man in Golden State, Draymond Green. Quick reminder, just for everyone
Yeah.
to know, he's getting
For all
paid
you
25
crying
million.
Warrior fans, there you go.
Yeah, that franchise is shot. But anyway, a troll NBA news account that goes by at the NBA Central, pretending to be
He's
the
central.
NBA Central.
That's
So
good.
not Central, but it looks very close. Like you have to kind of like really
You'll have to
notice
really zoom in on
E
that
and the
logo.
AL
You'll know we'll really have made it when
or
people are
RA.
posing as the Waterboy
Yeah, that's how
podcast.
we. And
That's
instead
how you
of
know it.
the O is a zero.
Zero.
Yeah, that's how we know we've made it. But the troll account said also it had 8,000 followers. If Draymond just clicked on the profile, it would have seen it's a troll. But the troll account said, quote, and they're pretending to be Kevin Garnett. A quote from Kevin Garnett directed Draymond Green. I misspoke there a little bit. Quote, fake quote. Draymond punching Jordan Poole is like a senior punching a freshman who's half his size and then walks around talking himself up as if he's like that. Come try me, Dre. Now, that isn't a real quote. However, seems very realistic, and I agree. So like
their writers were pretty good.
Yeah, like the writer who came up with that took a lot of time and
Genius.
effort because
He's been sitting on that for.
Kevin Garnett would say too.
He's been sitting on that, doing revisions, throwing it through Chat GPT.
No,
like this is how
like
somebody
straight up like getting like multiple different eyes on it for opinions. Like, how can I improve this?
He's calling up Garnett's agent, being like, "Hey, how does he talk?"
Yeah, and clearly that work paid off because Draymond bought it. So Draymond responded to that with pretending that thinking he's talking to KG. I tried you when I was a rookie, KG, and you started talking to yourself like I wasn't talking to you. What's that like? The freshman picking on a senior citizen that's double his size? Now, to be honest, like kind of like after my second and third read of it, like for like Draymond style of talking, like I could definitely see that pissing Kevin Garnett off. Like,
yeah.
if he said
but the issue is it being in a word format.
It is just worded a little weird. Draymond just speaks a little bit, kind of like he's telling a story. He's an entertainer.
He's an artist. He's an artist.
Yeah. So I like, I would have preferred if Draymond was a little more direct there with that clapback. But shortly after, everyone in the comments was like, Draymond, you're stupid. Like, that's a fake account. Like, Kevin Garnett did not say that. Like, you're dumb. And so Draymond responded by calling in the big guns at Clutch Sports. He got Rich Paul to go make a phone call to Elon, and they got at the NBA Central. They got that account suspended.
If you're Kevin Garnett and you look at your phone, you see, oh, Draymond Green has tagged you in a tweet, and it's just beef. Like, what is your response? Like, are you just like, what, like?
Not, yeah, well, the thing is, I'm not sure if he like added Kevin Garnett in it because it was responding to like the NBA Central account.
I mean, you'd still see that.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett. I'm assuming he's on Twitter. I don't know, but I'm assuming he is, and that he probably.
Well, it tagged his handle. It tagged his handle in it, so he did get.
Okay. I didn't see that. I didn't quite read into that detail, but yeah. There's a two-part story. Draymond getting got. Shout out to the writers for making a phenomenal, believable quote. And then also, Draymond calling in the big guns, getting it suspended because he couldn't take that L and the public embarrassment. He better address this on the podcast, or else, yikes! I will not be following it.
He's either gonna address it in the best way possible, or it's just
he does.
He's just gonna be like, yeah,
he already won me over, but yeah. He won me over a while ago. Second Clay lost me. I got on Team Draymond pretty quick. But yeah, the Draymond Green got. But you got anything else on the NBA as our in-house NBA specialist?
I am, I'm a big NBA fan. I think I know the most out of anybody on planet Earth.
I mean, ball is life for you. So
yeah, I mean, I would laser beam pointed at the death beam.
You would not mind shutting up and dribbling. You would want to do that. So
death beam pointed at Earth. I'm the person you want choosing the lineup.
Oh, that and being hopefully you select yourself for all 5 spots.
So I'm the center too. What are you talking about? I'm the center
and the point guard.
No. The point guard is reserved for the unnamed intern. I can't lie. He's a bigger baller than I.
Moving to the shooting guard. We can't. He's a ball hog.
That's right.
He won't pass. You essentially won't be on the court. It's tough playing defense when you're not getting involved on O.
Yeah. So, yeah. He likes playing all facets of the ball.
Yeah, always got his tongue out too, trying to be like Jordan. It really isn't though.
Yeah, but when he starts staring at you, it gets you in a real predicament. Yeah, that's like straight to the soul
with him, and you're just like, wow, man, you're
it's like the Eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings.
Wow, that's actually a really good comparison. I've never really thought of that one, to be honest. No. That's actually a really good way.
It's really good.
He painted a really solid image for you guys.
Yeah, tongue out, staring into your soul.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask you to put images on screen to help them, but I actually don't want you to.
That might melt people's minds. That might melt people's minds. They don't want to
see it. So yeah, but okay, Everett. Unless you have MLB news,
no, there honestly, there's nothing going on with the MLB for this episode. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Dodgers lost.
Actually, no, there's one thing. Julio Urias has an ERA of 5.04 now on the season.
Okay. All right, if you want to talk about that, sure. Yeah, so I was joking earlier today with you. Damn, like we were always saying, like, I mean, we're not gonna be able to re-sign Julio. So we can't trade him anymore. No one wants him. So he's cheap enough for us to re-sign him. But do we want to do it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So, it's an interesting time. Scott Boras is his agent. Considering Belly was able to get, I believe, 10 or 11 million, on a season base. I think he signed a 10 mil. He'll get Urias money.
This is what I'm going to say. The Angels like signing former Dodger pitchers. Why don't we just get it all out of the way now? You guys can have Urias. We'll take Shohei. It's a done deal. It's going to happen anyways.
And we'll overpay even. We'll throw in Austin Barnes too. We'll throw in Austin Barnes too.
You need the catcher. Trust me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you don't want to. His stats are so good. You don't even want to look at them.
Prepared to overpay for Ohtani.
Austin Barnes' catching stats are so good. You don't even want to look at them before you trade.
Yikes, dude. Don't look at it because if you check it,
you're going to want to give us your first round. You're going to want to give us your first round pick once you look at it.
Now that's the one thing about baseball which would actually make the sport heinous. You cannot trade picks.
No, I know.
If you could trade picks in baseball, oh my God. Let's just say the Dodgers, I think would be wheeling and dealing their picks like almost every single year.
Oh, 100%.
Like almost every year.
100%.
But yeah, it's an interesting time right now to be a Dodger fan. I mean, at least the lineup is hitting. You know what? At least it's only the pitching that either needs to be. We are first in the NL West.
With bandages, yeah.
Or it's only one problem to solve heading into next year, and if we get Ohtani, then like I do not give a shit who's playing left field for us next year. If we have Ohtani, it could literally be anybody.
I mean, right now the left field is probably one of the most just like disorganized positions on the team.
If it's like Chris Taylor again.
Chris Taylor, Trace Thompson, if he ever learns how to hit a ball again.
Well, he's been hurt. Peralta's been really good though. Jason Hayward's been really good. Like we're getting good value out of the veteran guys.
And look, I mean, if they can set up that left field position, I don't know what their contract situation is like if it's 1 or more years, but let's say that they're on for more than 1 year.
Peralta's on a 1-year. Trace, I believe we have for 2 more years, or we have the rights to him for 2 more years.
Well, I'm talking JD Martinez and Peralta, but like if you can,
on a 1 year, if we don't get Shohei, he's going to be the DH next year.
No, yeah, but I'm saying even if we do get Shohei, if he's doing well enough in left field, we could just run it back with him and put him in left field.
No, he can't be playing the field if he's going to be pitching. That won't be good for the
No, I'm talking about JD Martinez.
Oh, not Shohei. No, JD cannot play left field. Oh God, no, Everett. Trust me, Everett. Peralta's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
At field, but JD, Everett, trust me, we'd be sitting there calling for JD's head if he had to field every day.
Ugh.
I feel bad for his knees just watching him have to do that every day still. I think he's 37. So would not be good. The doctor doesn't advise it. So yeah.
Unless it's the Chargers doctor, in which case you get a punch for one. But it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's rooting for you. Like really, really hoping you do it. Yeah. It'll give him more work to do. So yeah, that's why they encourage it. Maybe they get paid like commission, like by surgery, and that's why
they're like, all right. Well, the
if that's the case, then damn,
trainer doesn't
hustle.
trainer doesn't do the surgery, but yeah,
I'm happy that we're helping out livelihoods on this team. At least we're doing something right. But yeah, college football recruiting update. This will be quick too. So it's a quick little reminder to a couple teams now recently back. Oh, sorry, Everett. Before that, we got to break down how I would describe it as a lack of downbringing for a school, program, and university for things that they did. So, in the 2019 and 2020 seasons, I believe Tennessee was flagged from anywhere to 100 and 300 infractions when it came to NCAA rules. Their punishment for those 3-digit number infractions under Jeremy Pruitt, I believe, their infractions were, or Butch Jones, but I think Pruitt, but their infractions were, they have 11 wins vacated from their 2019 and 2020 season. They won 11 games in those seasons where they did the infractions. So 300 infractions, potentially, Everett. They lost 11 games, no bowl ban. I think they have a very slight transfer portal and like scholarship budget, and like maybe a reduction to the amount of official visits they can give out, but nothing comparable to Reggie Bush USC recruiting infractions that were given on them. USC took years to recover.
Don't forget, by the way, 1, USC still hasn't recovered. 2,
to a degree, it took them a while to get.
Well, they lost to us last year, but 2.
All right, man. Hey, I'm just saying.
2. I also think that it's just kind of like right now.
Lips closed.
Right now, it's just kind of like the time that we're in. The other thing, by the way, even if this is a 11 game exemption that they're taking away, I just want to say Reggie Bush never got his Heisman back. So
that as well. Like justice for Reggie. I mean, what the hell are we doing, guys?
Seriously. Yeah.
His house and car that USC paid for is not the reason that man averaged 8.1 yards per carry. The house wasn't the reason he did that. That's not the
No, he
reason he
was
won the
just
Heisman.
driving the car on the field every time he got the ball. That's what they
Yeah.
think. That's what they
Yeah.
think's
Yeah.
going
With
on.
his God given fucking talent. All right. Okay. Shit. Smart investment. I mean, what an investment by USC. As a person goes there, still every alumni I talk, you should have seen
Reggie Bush.
That's it. That's it. It's the only thing people talk about there. So yeah, I think it was worth it at the end of the day. Actually,
yeah.
Probably not if you look at the football records in between post that time. But yeah, the other team, Ohio State, we had, I believe it was 4 infractions for players selling team or exchanging team memorabilia. I misspoke, for tattoos. We had a bowl suspension the following year, which Tennessee didn't get. Everett, fun little fact, that bowl suspension that we got for exchanging team memorabilia for tattoos, the next year, Ohio State happened to go 12-0 in Urban Meyer's first year, and the national championship was played between a 1 seed Notre Dame undefeated.
Was that Luke Fickell's year before him?
2 seed Alabama with 1 loss. So Everett, Urban Meyer would have won a natty in year 1, beating up on Manti Te'o's fake girlfriend in the natty. Year 1, he would have sent a message to the entire college football world that I'm back. He would have done that year 1, but we got the bowl ban for exchanging.
Was Luke Fickell the head coach, by the way, that year that the ban happened?
For the interim year, because Tressel got fired, or he resigned.
He got fired.
He resigned, I don't know, 3 weeks, 2 weeks before the season started. It was last second, and it was going to be Terrell Pryor's senior year. They had a very exciting team that year. They had this guy, Boom Heron. Maybe you remember him, running back for the Colts for a little bit. Probably not. My guy, Devere Posey. They had a fun little team, but shit. Terrell not playing that year led to Braxton Miller.
Let's get into your recruiting situation here.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. But yeah, Tennessee violations, lack thereof. But okay. Tennessee fans, I was going to mention them. That's why I just thought of them. But this is for Tennessee fans who just picked up a 5-star receiver today, by the way. Very big very big win. But to Tennessee fans, Michigan fans, to people of that nature, Miami a little bit to a degree, even though they're actually doing really well. Florida, I can't include you in this. You guys look really good. But around 2 to 3 weeks ago, Bama had 6-7 commits in their class for 2024, and weren't even in the top 25 of team recruiting rankings. Now, there's a lot of teams that have essentially filled up their classes already for 2024, and Bama was sitting at a 5th or a 6th of their class filled. But now Alabama is now 5th in team recruiting rankings, and they have the highest average player ranking out of any team. So they landed 2 players in the top 100 and another 2 players in the top 200 in the past 2 weeks. So they landed them, and over the stretch, they've had stretch of a month or 2, they've gotten another top 100, some more top 300 players, and their quarterback has shot up the rankings. So now Bama is 5th in the rankings, and they still have 13, 14 spots left. And there's a healthy amount of 5-stars that have not committed yet. So, yeah, just a reminder, Bama.
Nick Saban's in his bag.
Georgia, their class right now is so good, and they're projected to get so many more dudes. I'm not saying they're going to beat them, but I'm not 100% confident that Ohio State's going to have a better class than Bama.
Also, just remember, all the players that you get don't
idiotic.
always pan out. So
No, that is another thing too. I mean, shit. Look at the Bama receiver room right now. Ask them if those guys have panned out. So yeah, like not everything pans out. I'll be honest though. If you're a D lineman, you go to Bama. No, that's like almost the most assured shit of panning out of all time. So those guys, I do assume, will pan out. I still have nightmares of Christian Barmore from the 2020 Natty. So yeah. Those guys, no. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Those guys will be dominant. So yeah, that's the recruiting update. Yeah, guys, remember it's still Bama. It's still Alabama.
Okay. Let's get into the NFL now. We're gonna probably end on this segment. We got a decent amount of content in the NFL today for it not actually being that big of a news week in the NFL.
Yeah, I guess we didn't spend as much time on the running back stuff as we could, so we could dive.
Well, also to be fair, we've had much more developments in the last two and a half days.
Little more juice.
Which it's the water boy. We're prophets. We knew there's going to be more to talk about now, so we're saving it for this episode. I'm just going to start with some little Viking stuff. If you'll let me just kind of go this route.
Sure.
First thing that we're just going to say is we've seen a lot of throwback jerseys come out this season for this upcoming season. The Bucks have one.
I've only seen like 3. The Bucks one sucked.
Yeah, the Bucks have one. The Seahawks have one. I don't know if there's more, and then the Vikings. Vikings fans have been clamoring for these jerseys for years now. Everybody is like, you have to, like, with Justin Jefferson, they're like, oh my God, please, like, this would be so sick. That's finally dropped it, and everybody's in love with it. My favorite thing though is Kevin O'Connell was like, there's a reaction video of him. He was looking at it, he's like, those look sweet. And then he looks at the helmet, he's like, wait, I thought the helmets were going to be painted differently. Because all they did was put a gray face mask on and a different decal sticker. But he thought they were going to be glossy helmets, not matte helmets. Because right now they're matte helmets and the original ones were like a glossy color.
I'll be honest, I really like the matte purple current Vikings. I'm not sure if you have a different opinion, but I like the matte a lot.
No, I love the matte, but I think for those helmets, like the like,
no, yeah, if you're gonna do throwback, do it throwback.
Do it all the way. Like I love it. Just doesn't match. Like the purples just don't match. Like it's. I love the matte. Like don't like. I love the mats. You can see it right here if you're watching on YouTube.
There's a lot of teams where it looks bad. Like
yeah, but it works perfect. It works perfectly. It works perfectly with the Vikings. That's my only caveat. I agree with Kevin O'Connell. If they were like, it would have been. It's like 95% of the way there. It just that extra little 5% if they end up doing the glossy helmets, but they got the gray face masks, which are cool. The other thing that just got to go over here. ESPN puts out their rankings, their player rankings every year before the season starts. They do it for their overall. I think they have fantasy, but this is also just for their overall actual real life.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, by consensus, was the number 1 wide receiver, as you'd expect. They also release the highest rating for that player and the lowest rating given that player. Justin Jefferson's highest rating was 1. That's not a surprise. His lowest rating given by an ESPN analyst who is literally paid to do this for their job was 7.
Now,
they had Justin Jefferson as
this guy's getting paid because this guy might just be participating in the writers' strike right now.
Is Anthony Trash doing it? Like, I don't know.
Certainly not employed by them, but there's other culprits we could look at.
I think Keyshawn Johnson might still be employed there by the looks of it because of this.
I mean, like Pat Mac. Well, no. Aaron Rodgers.
Pat McAfee also, after getting annihilated by Vikings fans on Twitter for like 2 weeks because of one thing he said about Dalvin Cook, would not do that again.
Oh, breaking news, Everett. Rob Manfred is expected to be reelected and voted in for a 3rd term as MLB commissioner next week.
Is he the only one voting for himself? Is that what it's come to?
I'm not sure. If I were to guess, it's the teams voting, but for the sake of this bit, yes,
it'd be the owners
voting for it. It's him. So He's voting himself
He is
back
all
in.
the owners.
He is the owners. Yeah.
He is
No, like literally those owners are all robots. Like it's just him,
I
guys.
am the MLB.
Yeah, literally.
Unlimited power. Unlimited power.
Rob Manfred, like if you rearrange his name, it spells out MLB, guys. So
yeah.
like definitely doesn't, but pretend it does. If you consolidate all those letters,
like, yeah, there's not even an L. Maybe his middle name has an L. Hopefully, then he can get the MLB out of there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, hopefully.
That's the only letter we're missing. But yeah, I just
sorry.
What? Let's go over that. Let's say you have 7 wide receivers, 6 wide receivers better than Justin Jefferson. Who the hell are they? Who are the 6 wide receivers better than Justin Jefferson in the NFL?
Now we both know that there aren't any, but let's like pretend that like
let's say that we're this dude,
bit
right?
Of, like dementia.
Yeah.
Like the only way is dementia. So Antonio Brown's still in there. So he'd still be in that guy's list. Julio Jones would still be in that list.
Do we have Pierre Garçon? Is Pierre Garçon in there?
We're turning the clock a little too far back, but Gronk could be in there.
Not even the right position, but
no, I know. No, dementia. Remember.
right. Gronk. Sorry. Des Bryant, of course.
Oh, very potential. Like maybe Brandon Marshall's in that list.
Wes Welker.
Megatron. What are we saying, dude? Megatron's in that list.
What? Wes Welker?
No. I mean, he's a slot guy like JSN.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
Really, really hardworking though. Really, really, really scrappy. So
really scrappy.
Gotta give him that.
Randy Moss.
Potentially.
I don't know. He might not make the cut.
Tony G probably in there.
Yeah. Roddy White.
Again, dementia. Well, as his like hip pick, Kamara.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, as his like hip fun pick.
Just gotta throw him in. I'm gonna be progressive.
Yeah, and then he was just like asking around the general public, and then like the 26-year-old intern, or that too old, but like the 21-year-old intern in the room was like, "Do you have Justin Jefferson on the list?" And he's like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Dude, the best receiver in the NFL." It's like, no, he's not. I'll just.
Oh my God, how could we forget, dude? Jordy Nelson.
Oh yeah, he's got some spice to his route running, 100%. Very crafty, very intelligent.
He's very crafty.
Deceptively quick.
Oh my God!
It out of a guy like him.
We forgot Terrell Pryor.
Oh yeah, actually. Yeah, like he'd be sitting there like, well, what if this guy just played receiver?
Does Josh Gordon make the cut?
No. Dementia. He's really anti-weed. Definitely.
Oh, that's right. Well, no, this is before the suspension.
Johnson's off the list too.
This is before the suspension, though. Josh Gordon hasn't done anything yet.
No. I think that guy would only remember him for the suspension.
Oh,
he would have forgotten the season by now that he was really good. So, yeah, dementia. Remember,
dementia.
Only the big details stick.
It's the most chronic plague of football analysts everywhere.
Even then, he has to be reminded like every week that Josh Gordon like was the weed guy, or else he'll forget and go back to thinking of him as like really elite in 2013.
Yeah.
So it's a constant back and forth battle with the
Doug Baldwin.
I'd like to say that as a guy who was, a big fan of the Legion of Boom at that time, and via Doug Baldwin.
How could we, dude? No. Sorry. This is the last one. This is I JJ Watt, dude. Two career touchdowns.
Tubbies. That is.
He catches tubbies. He's got to be number 1 on the list.
If I also have this correct, well, not anymore now that D Hop's there, but like I think Vrabel, like if you were just counting people in the Titans organization career touchdown catches, he was like 3rd on the team. And he played D end and edge. So
that's
what does
great.
that tell you?
That's a good clip too. Okay. That's really all I have for the Vikings. There's one more segment comparing Josh Allen to Kirk Cousins, but I'm going to save that for a rainy day, for a later day. We got some more content.
Yeah, let's save it. And I would also advise to throw that one in the back pocket. I'm interested, very interested to hear that.
Yeah,
we got some stuff to talk about. So okay, Everett, the NFL running back market. Some news is heated up. Saquon's had some comments. Eckler, we've heard him a lot. He's been the most outspoken. Kind of started this whole trend about like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Maybe a little under that, but Eckler kind of fueled the fire to this debate.
Eckler started it. Let's put it that way. He started it.
He started. I'd say Saquon just fueled the fire on top.
Yeah.
So Saquon just threatened to say, if the Giants don't give me a contract, he'll essentially pull Le'Veon Bell and hold out. It's like kind of what he was saying. He was saying, "I'll say F you to the Giants."
Yeah, essentially, it's like, I like, who cares about my teammates? Like, I'll just not.
I don't want to put words in his mouth, but for a guy who says F the Giants, I don't care about anyone, seems to me like he'd be sitting out that year. I think that's what that means. I don't know, Everett. I could be wrong, but
rest in peace, like all of our dynasty Saquon owners. That's
Matt Breida shares
way up,
roof right
way
now.
up.
Yeah, you'll get about 3 games out of him until he sprains his MCL, and then it's who's their backup?
Eric Gray.
Yeah.
Eric Gray.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got a bell cow back there. So yeah, you got that going on. But Saquon had those comments. Eckler's been saying a lot of things. Where
you want to know what I do love? The one guy who hasn't said anything, who has been tagged and like as one of the running backs who are getting like should be contract soon, is Tony Pollard.
Well,
but there's the reason is he also like this is his first year
really in the position of power.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I do find it hilarious that like people have used his pictures and stuff with all this when it's like there's no reason for him to even be in that conversation.
Now, this is the thing, like immediately after, like I had Pollard last year in fantasy and 2 years ago. Like I've been really high on Pollard for a while, like seeing the decline of Zeke, like as a Zeke fanboy, that's kind of how I've like really picked up on Pollard. I'm kind of shocked how essentially the entire like football community is now like Tony Pollard is so good. 5th, 6th, 7th best running back in the NFL. And like stats wise, efficiencies wise, like, yeah, like true.
He's never had a full workload either though. So
like Tony Pollard has 510 career rushing attempts in the NFL.
But
going back to college, he had 106 rushing attempts at Memphis. He's had, so quick math, 600-ish rushing attempts in the last 7 years. I think
that keeps you with some fresh legs.
Najee Harris hit 700 rushing attempts like in weeks 14 last year. So like he is more durable, he is more able, which could be useful in contract negotiations. But at the same time, the Cowboys, what I'd be saying is, well, we've never seen you take on a full workload. You're going to get hurt.
Let's also look at all these other running backs. All right, let's just look at the timeline of things. Let's go there. Okay, so you're gonna have to correct me because I know you actually have.
I have
everybody
all their contracts.
But
I think okay, go on.
But there are 3 or 4 main running backs that have set up the motions that are in order right now, that the train has left the station because of.
So right now I have 2, in my opinion, I would say 1, maybe even 0 running backs that are worth their contracts. So do you want me to start with those 2?
Let me state this and we'll go this way. So no, let me state this and we're going to go this way. What I'm saying is we have these 3 or 4 running backs where the train is, they started this, and this is why the trains are off the tracks right now because of these guys.
Yeah.
And these players are David Johnson, Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley,
and Le'Veon Bell of them all. Yes.
And Le'Veon Bell. So That'd be interesting. So there's all that, and that obviously has everything. But then on top of that, we get to, I think this past year with the 49ers or with the Panthers, whatever happened, Christian McCaffrey's extension. We already had all this stuff going in this direction, and Christian McCaffrey getting all the money he got just absolutely dumped diesel all over the place on the fire.
And Derrick Henry has also gotten a big deal, but out of all the running
but
backs,
I'd also add that I'd toss that in now
amount of guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And I would also go out to say the best performer on his contract value so far in terms of availability and maintaining efficiency from his rookie contract. So do you want to start with McCaffrey and Derrick Henry or end with them?
Let's start with them. I think that's kind of that will go that way.
So we'll start with McCaffrey first. McCaffrey, he signed in 2020 with the Panthers. This contract has been restructured a lot, but at the time he signed a 4-year, $64 million contract worth $38.2 million guaranteed. He signed that in 2020. That was at the time intended to last up until this season. This was supposed to be the last year of that contract. But this is the thing, Everett, about that contract and really seeing, is it worth it? We all know how dominant McCaffrey is when he's on the field. We all know how dominant he is. Don't get me wrong. But he only played 10 games in 2020 and 2021, his first 2 years on that contract. And I would also say for almost every team in the league, except the 49ers, and I would say maybe the Ravens, but realistically just the 49ers, they're like the only team where it's actually worth it to pay McCaffrey this money. Like,
oh yeah, and it's also McCaffrey
suited to pay a running back this much money.
But also people have to realize, and I mean, people also have to realize that McCaffrey himself is not just a running back. Like, he's not getting paid. He's not getting paid to be just a running back. That's why when everybody is making these arguments, or these running backs are making arguments, or Christian McCaffrey's making this argument, like, hey, I'm getting paid. Why am I not getting paid? Or these guys should be getting. It's like, dude, you're not. You're not getting paid because of your running abilities. You're getting paid because of the other things you do that nobody else does.
Yeah, and so my last little thing on McCaffrey, and you tell me if he's been worth. Now the contract's been restructured and it's now lasting until I believe 2025. But just based off that initial contract, that number, and him getting the big money, he has only played in 27 of 50 possible games over the past 3 seasons.
Yeah, there are those major injury concerns. For the 49ers, maybe. For the Panthers, absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the Niners are, in my opinion, actually the only team in the NFL that is capable of, like, it's actually worth it for your team's build to be paying him that much. But for the Panthers, like, not worth it. Like, most teams in the NFL, it's not worth it. You're better off putting that money elsewhere.
Now, like, this is also the thing. So we can move this into Derrick Henry and these other running backs now. One, if we look at Derrick
Henry's real quick too.
Yeah, let's do that right now before
we Derrick Henry, 4 years, $50 million from 2020 to 2023. This is going to be his last year. Only $25.5 million guaranteed. That's it. So only half the contract guaranteed. We've seen King Henry. He's played out that contract.
Yeah, he has. But what
although Derrick Henry, he only played half the year in 2021, year 2 of his contract, he has still sustained amazing production. And his drop in rushing average last year, I would say, can be explained by Ryan Tannehill's offense. You have been very outspoken about the lack of Tennessee passing offense, and on Everett, if there's not much passing threat, seems to me we should throw 8 in the box. So I would actually say, despite having 8-man boxes, he still averaged 4.5 yards per carry at age 28. Holy shit.
Also, don't forget though,
he might actually
he did
the Hall of Fame.
True, but the injury concerns are an issue when we're talking about the contract, and obviously it not being guaranteed is like that's the reason why it's not guaranteed, and that's one of the issues when we're talking about all these contracts these guys like Saquon are asking for because they want guaranteed money. That's the whole problem. But also, like you said, Derrick Henry is his contract's up after this year, and both you and I have explicitly stated, and our bias aside, Tajay is going to be there to usurp into that role. That's why he was drafted. That's why it's a good spot for him.
Yeah, he's getting molded right now into Derrick Henry 2.0.
And on top of that,
version.
Don't forget, by the way, the Titans were trying to offload Derrick Henry at the end of the season, which a lot of people have forgotten about to this point and this whole situation.
Yeah, like at this point for the Titans, you shouldn't be paying a running back that much money. You're not gonna.
No, and also but I think it was
at
the
time. I understood it.
Okay, let's now get into these guys who are wanting these new contracts. First thing I'm going to state is Austin Eckler making the point of I think it was Austin Eckler. It was like teams like you need to pay running backs in order to win. Like teams need to do that.
Just blatantly false.
Which is blatantly false because all of the Super Bowl winners like the last 10 years have not been paying crap to running backs, which I think made it even more of an issue.
Like the last time a running back was getting paid on a team that won the Super Bowl, I think it was Marshawn Lynch. Seattle.
Yeah, but Isaiah Pacheco being on the Chiefs last year and winning the Super Bowl, that is the whole reason why it's going this way.
Yeah,
because people are saying, "Oh, I can do that with the 7th round pick." He's a rookie
going off from weeks 12 to 16.
I personally think, and we've said on this podcast, the running backs are the most disposable position in sports. And we're not saying that to be mean. We're not saying that to be, I hate running backs, but we're saying that's because that is the objective truth of the matter. The only way that running backs are going to get paid what they want to get paid is if the cap is raised more, or if there's some minimum requirements to be paying your first running back, which will never happen. There's no way the NFL ever does that. And if the cap gets raised, then running backs are going to want to get paid more than they're currently asking for because they're like, all right, now the cap's worth more. We should get paid. So you're going to keep going in a loop. And there's no situation where the running backs are going to get paid exactly what they want because, being honest, it is one of the hardest positions to play from a longevity standpoint. It is the most replaceable position because you have people coming in who basically can do the same thing as you for worth less money. And that's what the whole point of the NFL. It's a business, and everybody knows that.
Because the injury concerns, it's also a big factor as why.
Let's also put it this way. Adrian Peterson is the only running back to have passed $100 million in total revenue.
He's the highest paid running back of all time.
And keep in mind how long...
Second?
Zeke. Is it Zeke? Keep in mind, though,
point that we'll get into them.
Keep in mind how long Adrian Peterson's been playing for, how many teams he's now played on, even though he's with the Vikings for the first, 12 years of his career, whatever. He's still sitting here. And Adrian Peterson, of all people, has been the one running back where longevity, he is an alien. He is a robot. Dude rarely gets hurt. Now, he obviously gets hurt a little bit more because he's older, but he's still battling. He's like Frank Gore. People just keep going, and that's why
Frank Gore is also in that list too,
but that's why they got paid, and he obviously started in a different generation of football where that running backs were more valuable.
It's just over, the bell cow running backs, those are hard to find now,
but still, and that's also our point.
It's Saquon. Also, this is another thing, because the NFL, and realistically, to be honest, it's kind of the non-football spectators who are being you can't be hitting people high, which I've been hit high a lot. It's bad, but ask those running backs and receivers. They literally will tell you, I'll take your fine, hit me high. Do not even look at my ACLs. Don't even think about it, you piece of shit. So they're now encouraged to go for your knees. So that part of the game has changed too. Ray Lewis used to go for the head. If Ray Lewis was going for the knees, ACLs would have been gone. So it's just a different era where, that's an unintended consequence of limiting the head injuries.
But also, all right,
ACLs and those careers are getting shorter.
What I also wanted to state is for Josh Jacobs, Austin Eckler's playing. I'm pretty sure that
I forgot about Josh Jacobs. I'll be honest, I didn't have his stuff included.
But Austin Eckler is like he hasn't said he's not going to play, right? He's just disgruntled. Like he's just pissed off because he was like, all right, if they're going to trade me for good picks,
Yeah,
they should
he's
be
not going
paying
to
me.
hold out, but like I could
But
see him sitting out training camp.
let's look at Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley, the two players who objectively have stated that they might sit out. Right.
I mean, Saquon's had the injury problems, so
Yeah, but let's just look at both of them. Okay. Josh Jacobs, obviously last year, phenomenal, like best,
yeah,
at least
crazy.
fantasy was, I think he was number one in fantasy.
Ridiculous.
But
I believe so.
But
maybe like points per game, it was McCaffrey.
Yeah.
But I think
Either way, phenomenal season from Josh Jacobs last year. All right. Let's just look at it this way. The last running back to hold out for a contract extension was Le'Veon Bell. And that ended in absolute disaster for everybody. It's the reason why we're in this position now. He got paid, didn't get to play well, ruined it for everybody else. If I am Saquon Barkley, and from what I've read too, for Saquon is he had the opportunity to get the money that he actually he was kind of asking for.
Not
declined
the
it.
Duration he wanted, but up to 14 million per
year. Declined it, and then ended up signing a franchise tag. And now he's upset with the franchise tag.
Well, it was he declined it. Then the day free agency opened, Daniel Jones accepted his 160 million the day.
Yeah, they offered Saquon first though.
No, I know. Saquon turned it down, and that's how Saquon learned that the NFL is a business.
If you didn't know that beforehand, I'm just.
You would have thought the Penn State education would have taught him that, but I guess not. I guess James Franklin doesn't go over that detail. But sorry for the jabs, Penn State. Sorry, I actually think they're gonna be really good next year. But okay. Let's dive into some of these contracts real quick. And I'll make this quick. So first, Zeke, he's the second highest career running back earnings of all time in NFL history. Real quick, shout out Ohio State running back recruiting. Baby, that is the recruiting pitch right there, Everett. Second highest paid running back in NFL history, and he's 28.
He just happened to be on the Cowboys, though, so
I know
you gotta take it with a grain of salt.
Recruiting, but those kids see 90 million. That's what they see. Well, not the guys who went to Bama, but hopefully the next generation of running back recruits. But 6 years, 90 million, 50 million guaranteed from 2019 to 2016. They were intending on having him under contract for literally another 3-4 seasons from now. In the second year of Zeke's contract, his rushing numbers noticeably declined, and they were already beginning to decline, like from his rookie year, essentially. And they are still declining. And Zeke is no longer on the Cowboys, and his contract's supposed to be going on for like another 3 years. He's not on the team anymore. So that one, we can mark that one as a fail. Pretty safe to say that contract did not end up being worth it. Moving on. Todd Gurley now, Everett. Another guy where, damn, I'm kind of disappointed myself. Like, that's another trivia guy. Fun fact of the day. Todd Gurley is 28 years old.
Disgusting football player, but has arthritis. So
just crazy to think, though. Like, if you look back 5 years ago to now, it's like, oh, he's not in the NFL. But Todd Gurley in 2018 signed a 4-year, $57.5 million contract with $45 million guaranteed. The first year of that contract, ridiculous numbers. But in year 2, the production dropped off. The injuries started happening, and Gurley hasn't been in the NFL for 2 years. Moving on. We're going to end with our special culprit, but moving on to David Johnson. 3 years, $39 million with $32 million guaranteed from 2018 to 2021 by the Cardinals. Now, first things first, Everett. The Cardinals gave David Johnson this contract the year after he tore his ACL in week 1. So
yeah, let's
start there.
Let's also start with
Cardinals,
this too.
What? Why?
1, that, and 2, that is the
that
most
led to them getting Kyler Murray.
It is the most disastrous number 1 overall consensus fantasy pick of all time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
ACL bad. Gone week 1 consensus number 1 pick in fantasy football. That's just
at least like McCaffrey in those 2 years, like he still put up like 80 points in week 1 and 2, and you could have traded him early, but like
there's no shot.
Oh, I mean, even at like halftime, David Johnson had like 10 carries for 20 yards at halftime of that first game. And I remember like my brother had him that year and was just like, dude, he's so bad. Then he tears ACL a couple minutes later. So yeah, that season was over quick. Yeah, so that's David Johnson. Remember, 32 million guaranteed. That's a lot of guaranteed money. And then last, our culprit, the main man himself, Le'Veon Bell, 4 years, 52 million, 27 million guaranteed, second lowest guaranteed money. Derrick Henry had the lowest guaranteed money, who's performed the best on the contract into his last season.
Maybe there's a correlation there. Also seeing a correlation with second-year declines on contract extensions.
Yep. But Le'Veon Bell, in the first year of his big contract, he already started declining, Everett. So he was the exception. In his first year with the New York Jets, I guess last year as a full-time starter, he averaged 3.2 yards per carry. He has not been in the NFL since 2021. This is the worst example of a big running back contract because of the drop-off. That's so bad. I know it's less guaranteed money than the David Johnson, the other ones, but that one is so bad.
Now, let's stipulate this. We're all for it. Go and get your bag, all right? But
no, the players won.
Yeah, let's stipulate this. Go get your bag, all right?
Are goated.
But there is no way a team is going to pay you that kind of money anymore because of the history.
Yeah, no, it's just not. It's not wise. It's, not a great track record of doing it. And I would say, yeah, a lot of the reason, with the injuries piling up now, I would say it is because they're now hitting them in the knees.
I think it's that. I think that's one thing with the injuries, but I think the other part of it, the league is just a passing league right now. Nobody's seeing a running back and is like, that, oh my God. Bijan
for production on field.
Bijan being everybody was even talking about in the draft, Bijan falling because the league is not a running back league. And obviously we were proven wrong because Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs were both.
But if it was 10 years ago, I could.
Bijan would be the number one overall pick.
Well, maybe not one, but top 3 at worst, 2.
Yeah, at worst
or some shit,
And it won because the Falcons. It is rare to, in the league right now to have a run for the Falcons and the Titans are really the only 2 teams where it is run focus.
Ravens.
Kind of Ravens definitely, but I wouldn't really say that. I think the Niners kind of 50-50. Depends with Brock Purdy coming back, but Bijan going to that team, obviously they're overvaluing that. The Lions are also, they need a running back. They don't and so that's one thing. And you're getting them in picks, but it's just.
Last time the Lions had a generational running back. Well,
was it 95, 99?
Hey, Barry Sanders was really, really cool in that one cover of NCAA. I think it was the second to last ever, 13. I think that's right, but yeah. And Madden 25.
Yeah, with AP, by the way. With AP. Don't forget AP. Okay. All right. Do you have anything else?
No, that's all I had. I guess closing thoughts on the running back contracts. Yeah, I feel right now, just the way the NFL works, it's you're better off just spending it elsewhere. With the NFL actually having a hard cap, contract restructures have showed us not really, but with no luxury tax, okay, you got to divvy up, you got to allocate your budget by position, a little more carefully in the NFL. And actually, this is the last thing I have to say. You definitely saw this average kicker salary versus running back.
Yeah,
salary.
I said that on the last episode.
You brought it up. So, that list is definitely including practice squad running backs.
No, it probably is, or it's probably including the late round running back picks that are on rosters where it's $500K.
Yeah, and
because Isaiah Pacheco is getting paid $700K right now, 300, 400, 500, something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Justin Tucker's highest paid kicker in the NFL.
Yeah, 2.61, or he's 3. He's 3 or 4, something like that.
Oh no, Matt Gay, highest paid NFL kicker in 2023. He signed a 4-year, $22.5 million contract.
Wow. My God.
Damn.
How much is Justin Tucker getting paid?
Damn, dude. Ursay is just out here changing lives.
Justin Tucker needs to Justin Tucker needs to ask to restart the market, reevaluate the market, reset it.
Make his way to the AFC South in Indianapolis. Yeah, I mean, I think you should do it.
reset the kicker market.
I'd say that's another thing that it'll never happen, especially on the NFL because of the rivalries. But you know, I just saw the Seahawks, like the travel like miles.
It's so far.
Oh, God,
it's so far.
Jackson, you better have your Snuggie, you know, for those plane rides, brother. Like they're gonna get bad. So yeah. Hey, that's more time to watch tape, though. More time to watch tape.
True.
Good for my dynasty team.
Okay. To end, we're gonna do the Steelers surprising keeps and cuts. It's gonna be really short and simple. I'm honestly not gonna let it take too long because we've been going for a while. But here we go. For keeps, Steelers are gonna keep Mitch Trubisky, Dan Chisna, and Miles Boykin. And the Steelers are gonna cut Mason Rudolph, Chris Boswell, Kevin Dotson, Presley Harvin, Gunnar Olszewski, Dan Moore Jr., Zach Gentry, and Mote Pottenbaum.
Okay. I cannot say I know majority of those players. However, I was expecting to see, you know, like a little troll in there, like a, you know, Kenny Pickett cut, you know.
Najee Harris, just
little TJ cut, little Tej cut.
Yeah, and they traded for Allen Robinson. I think he's gone. Actually,
yeah, this is the thing with the Steelers. Like, even though I'm kind of like, the Steelers are an organization where there's just so much pride there that I would never tank, ever, if I was the GM of the Steelers.
No, you can't.
There's a couple of teams where just the culture, you can never tank. Like right now, the Patriots can never tank. Like right now, I think forever the Steelers can never tank. Like Cowboys, I think they've definitely tanked recently, but like they should never tank. We've seen the Eagles tanking. Shout out Dougie P. We've seen, even though I put them on that list too,
Dolphins
Giants
tanked, I think.
No, Dolphins would tank. Oh yeah. But Giants, you know, they're above that. They're above that shit. Washington, definitely.
The Lions, 100% above that. Saw that on display last year.
Well, Everett. They just happened. It happened to look like they were tanking because they just happened to suck. But trust me, they were trying.
They were really trying.
They did not try to tank.
Not intentionally,
though. Be a tank.
Yeah.
Same thing with Browns. Same thing with Bears. Same thing with Chargers. Same thing.
Well, I honestly think the Browns. Well, no, the Browns were terrible. I don't know. I can't say that.
No. They were trying. Yeah,
but
like, actually, I'm not sure. Under Hugh Jackson, was that his name?
The 0-16.
Maybe they were taking. Maybe they were taking. Maybe they were. I don't know.
But with that, thank you guys so much for watching this. And you rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. Make sure to follow me and Grant on Twitter at EverStakes and at WaterboyGrant. Make sure to subscribe, follow, like, favorite all of our content, specifically on TikTok and YouTube. We upload new episodes in audio and video format every Tuesday and Thursday. New TikToks every day except for Mondays at 8 p.m. Central. You're not going to want to miss it. It's great content. And yeah, with that, Waterboy's out.